Hey, it's Anthony here for Semi-Informatic, and today we're going to be having a look at Elite Dangerous. It's my aim today to show you how you can start earning some money bounty hunting in the starting ship, which is the sidewinder. So, let's get moving. So the first thing you're going to do is, if you're at a station, you're going to need to launch. Just had to move my cursor there. Now I am using on throttle and stick for this, a hot hash, but to keep it as close to the controller as possible, I'm not going to use my lateral controls. So I've got just as much thrust and just as much control over my ship as somebody using a controller would have. Now if you hear any hot hash noise, apologies.
You may leave when ready.
Actually, I've forgotten how nimble these things were.
Landing gear retracted.
They make a cool noise when you retract the landing gear too. Right, so let's get into it. Now what we're looking for is we're looking for a navigation beacon. So I just hit 1 to go to my navigation screen.
Clear of the exclusion zone.
And we should be able to find a navigation beacon here somewhere. There we go. So this is the thing that's closest to the sun that you jump in to when you jump into this system. So we're going to lock our destination for the navigation beacon and find it using the little map that's on our left side of our, I guess, heads-up display. And then when we're ready, we're just going to jump there. Well, not jump there. We're going to jump into Super Cruise, and then we're going to travel there. Obviously, if you're going out to fight, don't be carrying anything that you can't afford to lose. So usually in this situation, I put my ship in the or the acceleration of my ship in the blue range. You can see to the bottom right, the blue range there. The little indicator turns blue when I move the throttle backwards and forwards. The blue range just means the ship is going to automatically speed up and slow down as I get closer to my target. It's only 350 odd light seconds to the navigation beacon, so it shouldn't take that long to get there. Now you're also going to need to control where your power goes, and if you can see that off to the right. Actually, I might not have time to explain this before we jump or we drop out of Super Cruise. I'm just going to ease the throttle back so we're right at the bottom of the blue. We can see the navigation beacon coming up. We're going to get to within about 800 kilometers of that, and it should let us drop out of Super Cruise fairly close. Probably not a good idea to get too close to the sun. It should be alright. I mean, you'll know if your heat starts going up, you'll know if you're too close to the sun. Now you can do this in any system, but really try to do it in a system that isn't anarchy or isn't hostile. You want a system that's safe, a system that's under control of either the Empire or the Federation or something like that. We'll go over that possibly later. Your starting system is a good choice. Alright, here we are, ready to drop out of Super Cruise soon. Alright, so let's go. So let's have a bit of a quick look at what we've got here. So down the bottom right hand corner there's some controls that control where we allocate our power. So power all the way over to sys slows us down but regenerates our shields faster. All the way up to engine increases our speed, and obviously weapons does weapons. You keep it balanced. At least for now. So what we're going to want to do, try to keep your speed in the blue unless you're chasing somebody. Try and find a ship and select it, target it, and you'll see down in the bottom left hand corner we're scanning it. Oh, he jumped out. Let's try and find another one. So here's another ship. Mostly harmless scanning. So he comes back as clean and he's in a wing. You want to avoid attacking people who are in wings. We scan the other sidewinder in the wing as well. And what we're looking for is people who aren't clean. We're looking for people who are wanted. There's another ship here. Now some ships, it may be difficult to get a lock on them. You just need to get closer. You can use your boost in your engines if you just need to get that a little bit closer, or divert power to your engine. And he's clean as well. So what our strategy is basically going to be is we're going to look for people who look like they're going to be causing trouble. You can find that in a couple of ways. If you scan someone and they are wanted, or if somebody else starts shooting at somebody, you just cycle through the targets until you find the person who's wanted, and then we're going to try to get in on the end of a fight. Not the most, I guess, honourable way to fight, but to get us started and to get a bit of cash and to get us into a better ship, it's probably the best we can hope for. Now you'll see out there, it says warning, Smigs has deployed hardpoints. I wouldn't really worry about that. No one's going to shoot at you unless you shoot them, or unless you've got something in your hold that they want. Because we don't have anything in our hold, nobody should be shooting at us. It can be a little bit annoying when you keep getting ships that are you've already scanned. I would love for them to add something to the game where you could filter out targets you've already scanned, like that one. If you start to get a bit far away from the navigation beacon, just head in close. See if we can't find another ship. Oh, there's one. Oh no, wait, that's the actual navigation beacon. We should probably see what we've got weapons-wise. We move over to 4, and use Q and E. We've got pulse lasers, which is pretty much, I guess, the starting weapons for the sidewinder. And he's clean. We've got a distinct lack of targets today. Somebody's going to mess up. Someone's going to start shooting at someone else. Then hopefully we're there. Now if you want to turn faster, make sure that your throttle's in the blue, just like it was when we were travelling to this navigation point. Oh, here we go. So this guy's in a Viper, which is a much more powerful ship than ours, and he's deadly. So what we're going to do... This other dude is fighting him. Oh dear. And we might just hang around and see what happens. We're not going to actually attack him yet. We're waiting for his shields to drop. I think maybe he actually dealt with the guy that was shooting at him. Nope, he's shooting at someone else now. I should also point out that before you do this, make sure that you've gone and done the training on the main menu. If you're doing this, you should really be in solo or private group, because dealing with AI is one thing, dealing with players is a completely different thing. We're just trying to keep close enough to make sure he doesn't get away from us. We want to get a hit in before he blows up. And really, chasing a ship around like this is good practice. Keep an eye on him on your HUD. Try to keep him in front of you. Most ships you should be shooting at them from behind. That's not the way all ships work, but most do. You can go as far as figuring out exactly where the hard points are on every ship and figuring out blind spots and approaching from blind spots. Did we lose him? Yeah, there we go. We got him back. We might actually even lose him now because we might get too close from this boost. Oh no, we're doing alright. Alright, so his shields are offline now, but we really don't want to attack until 50%, because what's going to happen is this guy is going to start shooting at us. Alright, now's our chance. Get in there. Alright, he's at 0. He should be blowing up soon. Yeah, see there, 54,000 credits awarded. So you can basically do that a couple of times and get a nice bit of cash. So now we retract our hard points. Just imagine we've done this for a little while. We want to head home. We're going to hit 1 and we're going to find... Well, first we figure out who the bounty was from. So... Independence of Paran, which is the system that we're in. Now, really, any station should allow us to cash in the bounty, but we're just going to make sure, because you've got to make sure the people who are offering the bounty, the faction, Independence of Paran, are the ones who run the station, or at least have a presence on the station. Oh, look, there's somebody else going on. Now, having said that, that was a Viper. That was a fairly... Are we going to be able to get in on this guy too? No, too late. The Viper's like a low-ish or a mid-ish class ship. If you just look at the ships on a website and maybe sort them by price or sort them by hard points, stay away from things like Anacondas. Unless you're getting in on the last 1% and there's no way the guy's coming back. Okay, so let's jump out. Oh, okay. We've got something near us that's stopping us from jumping. Or maybe not stopping us from jumping. Obviously, if you see low-level ships like Eagles and Sidewinders, don't be afraid to have a bit of a go with them, even if there isn't much support around. But do know that this is a game where you can lose your ship and have to cash in your insurance. So if you hit 4, you can see underneath rebuy cost, that's how much you're going to pay to get this ship back. Now if it's the starting Sidewinder, you might not pay anything at all. I would have to check that though. We're going to head back to Underwood Port. We're going to land and we're going to cash in our bounty. So having said that, that bounty that we got was 54,000 credits. The rebuy cost for this ship is 1,600, so we could afford to lose this ship many times over, perfecting our fighting skills. It's got to figure out which ring this thing is on. I think it's that one. I once read something that says that the space stations face inwards towards the planets. So I tend to try to approach from the inside. I haven't yet figured out how to approach real fast and lose a lot of speed. I know some people approach at full speed and go real close to the planet just to bleed off as much speed in the gravity as they can. But for me, I haven't managed to figure that one out just yet. So you can see over on the left where it says Underwood Port, we are looking at the distance and the speed, and both of those need to be in the blue for us to drop out. So, if you don't just want to sit in the blue, you can kind of play with your acceleration. And, you can try to approach as quick as you can and then throw the thing into reverse. But don't be surprised if you overshoot it and have to turn around. Because if you play it safe in the blue, you end up in a situation like this where your speed's okay to stop right now, but you've still got a little while until you get within range of the space station. Obviously this one we can disengage from quite some way away. We don't really have to wait until 800 kilometers or so. Alright, there's the entrance. I usually just boost towards it, kinda. Get within 7.5 kilometers. Request docking. Try to get myself reasonably lined up. There are times where doing this I have felt like the best pilot in the world, and there are times where I have hit the outside of the station Or hit boost instead of landing gear and boost it into the station. A couple of times you can pull up before you even hit the back of the station. Usually put my landing gear on here, just to slow myself down. We can actually see pad 34 from here.
Landing gear deployed.
Now because we've finished the combat demonstration, I am going to use my lateral thrust here, just because it makes it easier to land. Probably should have stopped well before that. Oh no, actually, it can be tricky to figure it out. Different ships tend to take different times to slow down. There we go. So into Starport Services. And into Contacts. And find the, I think it's the Authority contact. We can see here we can redeem all of our bounty vouchers. And click confirm. We just made ourselves almost 55,000 credits. I'm not sure what that would buy us. Let's have a look. I think maybe just a sidewinder. Yeah, well, that would be a completely new sidewinder if you had to buy one from scratch. A hauler if you wanted to start on some cargo. And then we get into the real expensive ships. I'm not sure how much an Eagle costs. An Eagle, it's a slight upgrade from a sidewinder. Might be within that ballpark as well, but check before you go off and buy anything. Also remember that there are recommended loadouts for some of these ships, and it's not just the cost of the ship that you have to save. You have to save the cost of the ship plus the cost of any modules like lasers and jump drives and stuff like that. Then also plus the cost of the insurance. The saying, both in EVE and in Elite Dangerous, is never fly anything you can't afford to lose. So make sure that you've got insurance. Drop back to a slightly less powerful ship if you think you might be in trouble, or if you don't think you can really afford to lose that much money. Right, well, this has been Anthony for Semi-Informatic. This is a quick Elite Dangerous tip. I hope you've enjoyed it. Get out there and shoot somebody down.